Hi guys, I'm Gasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome as always to our coffee times to discuss books. And today I needed an extra super full to the rim cup of coffee because I'm sick and I have a lot to talk about today because basically I was there for around 4 days and I have 50 plus books to talk about. So like, what happened? I'm here to let you know what happened and to let you know the books that I picked up.
It's coffee time.
So first of all, why am I sick? It is not the feared C. It is just because the last day when we were flying back, we were waking up at 3 a.m. by the fire alarm in our hotel room. So imagine you're in deep sleep and at 3 a.m. the fire alarm goes off above your head and you nearly die of a heart attack. So we had to go outside quickly. So I just grabbed a crop top and some pants and I just went out, and it was really cold at 3 a.m. Then we had to go to the airport at 5 a.m. to fix a canceled flight. Then we were basically all day back and forth in the airport. We rescheduled our flight to 7 p.m. That one was delayed and delayed and delayed, and I feel like I went through so much in 24 hours and my body kept going from hot and cold temperatures that I just caught a normal cold. Yeah, so that's why I'm sick. And now let's talk about all the books that I got. So basically when I went to Yalc, I already knew that the majority of the books that I was gonna find there were probably gonna be more contemporary slash fantasy YA books, which it is obviously the case, but I took this as an experience to see what books I could grab that I was interested in and see if I could also discover some YA thrillers and YA horrors out there, because there is a lot coming out at the moment that are specifically YA thrillers with a touch of horror to them, and I wanted to explore those more in my channel and I wanted to support those authors a little bit more because I feel like in the YA industry they don't get as much love as, let's say, you know, popular fantasy series. So I was really glad to find some of those titles there as well. Also, obviously at Yalc you get to meet the authors, so I also took the opportunity to buy books by authors that I was maybe interested in at some point that I have not read and just get them signed, and you know, also an excuse just to buy books because I did get a lot of books signed, but I was just really excited to get to meet all the authors. It didn't matter if I had already read their books or not. I was just excited, you know, for the opportunity of meeting them and then get to read their work. If you have been watching my channel lately, if you have been following me on social media, you might have noticed that I have a slight obsession with Heartstoppers, just very slight. And Alice Osman was going to be there, which was a highlight for me personally, and I really loved that I got the time to meet her and talk to her just briefly. She had such a long queue and she was such a champ getting through everybody and, you know, really paying attention to everybody's stories, and she was just the nicest. Alright, so now let's go to the books, and because I do have so many books to show you guys, I'm gonna try to be super quick when it comes to synopsis and what the books are about because I just have a lot to unpack. I'm gonna start with the books that I already owned that I took there just to get signed, which is not many of them actually. The first one is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I was really excited because he was gonna be there, so I decided to take the first one in the series in hardcover and get it signed by him. So here is the dedication, and I was really glad that I got to meet him, and I also was at his panel talking about dystopian world and how sometimes the things that they write, you know, start to happen in reality and how surreal that feels. Then, and this is extremely not horror, I took my copy of The Kissing Booth with me. This has been a comfort read for me, the movie as well. I got really obsessed with the film and I just wanted this copy signed because I have reread this one a couple of times. I don't always reread rom-coms, but I feel like this is a comfort read for me, and I told the author, I told Beth, and she put here happy comfort reading for me, and yeah, this is, you know, my reading copy, the one that I've read multiple times, so I wanted to have specifically this one signed. Then I also took my copy of Cruel Castle by Briony Pierce from home that I had just bought specifically for Yalc to get it signed by her, and this is what she wrote: "Do you dare enter the castle?" And I took with me Perfectly Preventable Deaths by Deirdre Sullivan. And I started reading actually this one on my way to Yalc. I'm currently on page 208 and I'm absolutely loving it. The character development in this one is just, you know, getting to me. The two sisters are just so well developed. Like the character arc is fantastic and I really can relate to them, especially to Maddie. So yeah, I was really excited that I got to meet the author, and it's interesting when you're getting a book signed that you're currently reading. So yeah, she also signed this one for me. And the last thing that I took from home, from my own shelves, is Heartstopper Volume 1. This is the new release with the Netflix cover and the one that has the couple of pages with the script. I decided to take this one because the show has meant so much to me, so I wanted to get specifically this one signed by Alice. And yeah, she did here, and I'm gonna cherish it. Now I can go back to this little altar that I've been building for Heartstopper. So before going to Yalc, I actually ended up buying 2 more books by authors that were gonna be there. The first one is Witch by Finbar Hawkins. This is a middle grade spooky read about, obviously, witches. So I'm really excited about it. I still have not read it, but I got it signed, and the author was also super nice and gave me a signed book plate for the second book on the series. I believe it's gonna be called Stone, and it has a similar cover, so I'm really excited for that one as well. I forgot that I actually got a little sample for the second book called Stone. So we have Witch and Stone. I really like the covers, they're so cute, so I'm really excited about this middle grade series. And the other one that I bought before going is one that I knew I wanted to have in hardcover, because the hardcover editions are just so beautiful, and I wanted to give this one a try because it has something to do with tarot cards, and that is All Our Hidden Gifts by Caroline O'Donoghue. And just the hardcovers are so beautiful, and I knew I needed this one, so I got the hardcover and I took it with me to get it signed. And it was really funny because when I talked to the author, she mentioned that she wanted to change her name to Carla to my real name, and she wrote here, to Carla, I wish I had your name. So we had a conversation about names and stuff, and it was really funny. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. It's one of those that I had on my radar, but I never really picked it up, and when I saw the author was gonna be there, I was like, perfect excuse to treat myself with a hardcover and give it a read. So since we are already talking about Yalc and the books that I got there, the books that I got signed, I'm gonna move on with the next books that I picked up at Yalc. And the next bunch of books are books that I picked up by the publishers themselves that were selling books there. So they had also some sales going on, and there were things that were definitely cheaper than it would be for me to order them from the Netherlands. So I just, you know, took my chances and I just picked up a lot of stuff. So these two, I remember I picked them up on the Sunday because they had a deal. I think it was 2 for $5 or something, like super cheap. So I decided to pick them up. The first one is This Lie Will Kill You by Chelsea Pitcher. I've heard about this before, I've seen it going around. I think this is a YA thriller, so now I have the chance to check it out. And the other one that I picked was this one, The Trial by Laura Bates. The Island Will Be Their Judge. So because I had to pick 2 and I didn't know which one to pick, I think this is the only one they had that was kind of like thriller, horror-ish, so you know, I was kind of aiming for those. And I believe it is, yeah, a plane crashes and 7 teens are washed up in a desert island, and the first thought is survival, but a terrible secret from a party the night before has followed them ashore. So these were the ones that were kind of like thriller, so I had to pick these ones up. Next, I picked up Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez, and this is a book that I also had seen before and I was interested in because it is a queer romance book, and it feels like it could be really cute and wholesome. But there is another reason why I picked up this book, and it's that it is by the publisher that publishes Heartstopper, and they were giving away these cute bags. I hope that you can see it. It has Heartstopper here, and on the other side we have Boy Meets Boy. So yeah, I had to buy a book on their stand so I could get this bag. But jokes aside, I'm still really interested in the book. I might have just maybe picked it up for my Kindle if I would have that option, but I don't mind to have this in physical form at all because it is one that I also had kind of on my radar when it comes to rom-coms. And then when I saw this one, I knew that I had to pick it up by the publisher, and that is The Society for Soulless Girls by Laura Stephen. This is a school, I think a university, a college, where teenagers were murdered and they had to close down. And then years later, they reopened their doors, and so probably they're going to figure out what actually happened when those girls were killed. Something like that, but I'm excited because it sounds, you know, like a murder mystery. It looks spooky, and yeah, this is one of the ones that I wanted to get. I had seen this cover before, so I'm glad that I was able to pick it up. Then also on the last day, on Sunday, I walked by this publisher and they had this book here, and obviously it just caught my eye, and it's called The Moral Secrets by Susan McNally. And it looks really dark, and that's basically what attracted me to the book. It is about some kids that discover a mysterious journal and realize that their family probably is keeping secrets, things like that. So I was like, you know what, I'll pick this one up. But because they had a, you know, buy two for like £5, I had to pick up a second one. And the only one that they had that also kind of looked a bit interesting to me was Game Over, Rise of the Raid Mob. So I don't know anything about this one, but it is about virtual reality. And yeah, how basically the virtual reality becomes reality. So yeah, I decided to pick it up. Mostly I just wanted this one, but they had a 2 for $5, so you know, I was kind of forced to make a second choice. And this is kind of like sci-fi, so I don't know, I don't have much sci-fi and I do want to read more, so I hope this one is a good one. Then I was talking to the people from Chicken House because they have such a cute like October read coming out, and I'm so excited for that one. And it's called The Other Ones. So I took this, which are basically bookmarks for it, and they told me this is Heartstopper meets Gilmore Girls, kind of like a spooky version of Heartstopper or something like that. There is a queer representation and it's supposed to be really Halloween-y, so I'm like, yes please. So anyways, they were doing a sale of, you know, take three, I think it was 3 for £10, like most stands had 3 for £10. And I told them, yeah, why don't you recommend me any thriller, something like that you have. So they gave me Every Line of You by Naomi Gibson. This is supposed to be a thriller. I don't know much about it, but I decided to pick it up. You know, sometimes it is nice to go into something without knowing much about it. I know it's a psychological thriller, so I'm hoping to enjoy it. So because I was allowed to pick 2 more books, you know, 3 for $10, I decided to grab The Block and The Ark by Ben Oliver. I did read The Loop, which was the first book in the trilogy, and I didn't own the other 2, so I was like, you know what, I might as well just do it now and just grab them because I really enjoyed The Loop. It is a YA sci-fi that is kind of dark, or a little bit darker than I was expecting for a YA, so I really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to finish the trilogy. And on my quest to find all the thrillers and all the spooky books that I could find there, I landed on Scholastic, and I decided to pick up Such a Good Liar by Sue Wallman. It says Lydia has a secret, she's not Lydia. That's all I know. I was picking up books just like, okay, this is a thriller, I'll pick it up. That was kind of my reasoning behind it, and I was just embracing that moment that I had of splurging. And then I picked up this one called The Witchery. I mean, first of all, this cover, hell yes. It is by S. Isabel. It looks so cute. I'm thinking this is going to be targeted to way younger audiences. Maybe it's a middle grade. I'm not really sure if it's YA or middle grade, but it is about witches, and I love this cover, and I thought it would be a really cute read. Then I went to another stand where they were doing also some sales, and I decided to pick up Cemetery Boys by Adian Thomas because I have not read this book yet, and it's been on my wish list for forever, since basically it came out. So I really need to get to it, and I really wanted the hardcover because it's so pretty. So I picked this one up because it was also on sale. And then they had a deal, which is if you buy 3 paperbacks, you get an ARC for free. An ARC of something that is already out, but it's always nice to pick up books for free. So anyways, I picked up A Wicked Magic by Sasha Lawrence, and this one obviously calls to me because it's about magic and spells and cats. And this is by the author that has Young Blood coming out, which I have on pre-order, so I don't know which one I'm gonna read first because I'm really excited about Young Blood, but now I also have her on a book. Then I decided to pick up These Witches Don't Burn by Isabel Sterling. This is one that I had kind of in my radar, but I wasn't sure if it was gonna be for me or if it was gonna be too cheesy for my taste. But like I said, when I went to Yalc, I just wanted to take it all in, to get all the books and just allow myself to splurge in books and give things a try. So that's what I wanted to do. So I picked this one up. They also had the second one, but I didn't pick it up because I want to see first if I like the first one or not before I buy the second one as well. And the third one that I picked up there was Cracked Up to Be by Courtney Summers. I've heard amazing things about her books. I still have not read Sadie, which I feel is the one that got more popular when it came out. But this is the one that I picked up for my third book, and I'm really excited. I think these ones are really dark and they get really intense when it comes to triggers, but I'm excited to read it. And because I bought 3 paperbacks, they let me choose an ARC for free, and I chose Wicked As You Wish by Rin Chupeco. Now this is a book that already came out. It says here March 2020. So I picked this one up because I read The Bone Witch by Rin Chupeco and I was not so in love with it as I expected, but I still wanted to give the author another chance, and I decided why not pick up this arc and see if I enjoy it. Then I found a book there that I've been meaning to pick up. It's been on my cart a couple of times and then I never bought it, and it was only £4, so I was like, I have to pick it up, and that is It Will End Like This by Cara Lee. And yeah, I don't know exactly what to expect from this one, but it is a new release. I believe it's a 2022 release that I've been like this close to pick up a couple of times and then I never did, but for £4 I could not say no. And at that very same stand, believe it or not, I bought for £1 and £1 only Lock and Key, The Golden Age. I paid £1 for this hardcover and I just could not believe it. I was like, maybe I should pick them all up and just, you know, give them away to people, but you know, then I thought that I had to carry them all back with my suitcase. And I reconsidered. But yeah, I picked this one up. Like, how can I say no to it? You guys know I'm loving the Lock and Key graphic novels, so I had to pick it up. Then I was at the stand for Euclid Publishing, which published Mina and the Undead, and I saw they had also some other spooky books there, so I decided to pick them up. The first one is by an author that I was already familiar with, which is Bryony Pierce. So her new book is called Raising Hell, and this looks like such fun. It looks again like something like Sabrina or Buffy, you know, that kind of vibe, and I'm really excited to pick this one up. And the other one that I picked it up based on the name and the cover, that's it, and it's called The Hunting of Lindy Pennyworth by S.M. Pope. And this is how the cover looks like, and when I saw it on the table, I'm like, this looks stunning, fantastic, I love it. And like I said, it was not so easy to find really spooky books there, so I was so happy when I found this one because the cover looks super creepy. Then I went to Anderson Press because I really wanted to win an ARC for, I believe it's called The Hunting of Tyrese Walker or something like that. I'll put the cover here so you guys can see. But unfortunately I did not win the ARC, but I did find another middle grade horror that I wanted to pick up, and that is The House in the Woods by Yvette Fielding, and this is #1 in the Ghost Hunter Chronicles. So you guys know I want to read more middle grade and more YA horror, so this one was perfect for me to pick up. And yeah, I'm really excited. Of course the cover is kind of like Stranger Things vibe, so I don't know what I can expect from it. And the last book that I picked up by a publisher there, and because it was the last day and they were giving this one for like £5, and it is a hardcover, and I was like, I need to get it, and that is Ecstasia by Claire Legrand. I really liked So Kill Girls, and I had already considered Friday and Saturday if I should pick this one up, and then Sunday they were like £5, and I'm like, I'm gonna get it. So yeah, I'm really excited. All I know is obviously that it is about a witch, and after enjoying So Kill Girls so much, I'm really excited to dive into this one. And the rest of the books that I got at Yalc are actually all from Waterstones, because they did such an amazing job at having like separate bookshelves for authors that were signing on Friday, on Saturday and Sunday, so that if you went there and you were missing books by authors that you wanted to get signed, you could just grab some from the shelves, which was so good. It is something so practical, especially for people like me that we come from far away. So, you know, sometimes it's better if you just grab the books there instead of carrying everything from here. So most of the books that I got from Waterstones, the plan was to get them signed, and I think most of them I did get signed. So the first one is The Places I've Cried in Public by Holly Byrne. So I had been meaning to pick this one up for a long time because I felt like this was a book about grief and something that I would like to read when it comes to the author's books, and she was gonna be there. So I decided, you know what, let's pick it up, and it has beautiful purple edges. So I also started reading it, and so far I'm enjoying it. Then I picked up Precious Catastrophe because this is the sequel to Perfectly Preventable Deaths. And I also got it signed by Deirdre Sullivan. I was enjoying the first book so much that I decided I loved it enough to pick up the sequel already. So then I saw a panel of authors that write their books in verse, and Dean Ada was there, and I had heard so many good things about The Black Flamingo that I thought this is a perfect opportunity now to pick it up, you know, meet the author, get it signed and all of that. So I did end up picking up The Black Flamingo, but also as well his last book called Only on the Weekends, which is a chunker, but like I said, they're both written in verse, so I'm expecting it is, you know, a quick read at the end of the day. So I'm really excited to give this one a try. Another book that I had on my radar, because it is dark academia, and I do tend to like dark academia. I do love academia settings in general, you know, colleges, schools and things like that, but when they have kind of like a mystery, a murder, something dark, then I love it even more. So I picked up Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Iyimide, and I got the chance to meet her as well. She was lovely, and yeah, I got this one signed. I'm really excited because this one has been on my radar for a long time. This is one of those that I wanted to pick up at some point, and I've heard good things about it, so really excited to finally get to this one at some point. Another YA thriller queen is Cynthia Murphy, so I decided to pick up some of her books. So I picked up Last One to Die and Win, Lose, Kill, Die, which is the latest release. So I got these two to get them signed, to give them a try, so I'm really excited to get to them. Yeah, I was really excited to meet her, and she's also lovely. Everybody was so lovely there. Like, all of the authors were so nice, and they all had such positive energy. I really had a blast meeting them all. Talking more about YA thrillers, I decided to pick up Ready or Not by Tracy Darnton, who was an author that was also gonna be there. So like I said, I was taking the chances of getting as many books by authors that were signing so that I could get them signed, you know, and get the experience. And the other one that I picked up is Dead Lucky by Andreina Cordani, and I got to meet her, I got to talk to her, and she's amazing, and it was so much fun to talk to her. So I decided to pick up her book as well and give it a try. So more YA thrillers for me to read. I might do a vlog in which I read just YA thrillers for like a week or for like a month and let you guys know my thoughts on them, because I have now so many. Then I picked up one that I don't know what I'm gonna feel with this one, because I feel like it's horror comedy kind of, or like horror that also has like a funny side, and those can be a hit or miss for me, but I decided to pick it up because the author was there as well. So I picked up The Devil Makes Three by Tori Bobaldino, and I don't know, I'm excited. It might be a real hit for me, who knows, but I think this is just gonna be fun horror. And then I picked up Mina and the Undead by Amy McCaw, and you're gonna be like, excuse me, but you already have that book and you've been talking about it for a long time. That is true, that is true. It's actually on the background as well, but I thought, you know, I'm at Yalc and Amy's here, so I thought it would be so much fun for me to pick up a copy and get it signed so I can make a small giveaway for you guys. So I'm going to be giving this copy away to one of you. I'm going to be posting on it on social media so that you can, you know, get the chance of getting a signed copy of the book. We are going to be making a read-along of the first book in August, and then in September, when the second book comes out, we are going to be reading the second one as well, Mina and the Slayers. So this one I just bought to get it signed for a giveaway, so one of you guys can get a signed copy of the book, especially for people that were not able to go to Yalc. You know, I thought it would be nice for me to give away a copy. And because I bought this one, they gave me a proof of Mina and the Slayers, which is the second book, and I am so excited for the sequel. I've heard it's going to be bigger, bloodier, and a lot more than the first one. I'm just so excited. So basically we're gonna be reading these ones together. So you guys, if you don't have a copy and you wanna, you know, get to the read along, the first book is already out. The second one is coming out in September. More books that I got to get signed. So the first one is The Cousins by Karen McManus. I read One of Us is Lying a long time ago when it came out, and I did enjoy it, but I have not read anything else by the author, and I've heard this is the one that people love the most, so I decided to pick this one up to get it signed, and it has black spread edges, which is really cool. Then I picked up Heartbreak Boys by Simon James Green, who was also there, and I got this one signed. I'm really excited. He has a lot of books published already, and I didn't know which one to pick up, but I felt like this one was probably going to be the more one fitted for me, because it is about a fake relationship that probably then turns into a real one, and I do like that trope, so I hope to enjoy it. Another one that I got is The Stranded by Sarah Daniels, and I didn't plan on buying this one or getting it signed, but after a panel with the author I got intrigued about it. It is about some people that are trapped in this boat for years. I don't know, it sounds like cool and interesting. It's kind of like a take on the future, I believe, so I don't know, it just sounded great in the panel, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy it, get it signed, and give it a try. Going back to YA thrillers, I have two books by Catherine Foxville, who is also known for writing, you know, YA thrillers. The first one is called Good Girls Die First, which I believe was her first novel, and I also picked up her last one, Tag You're Dead, which I already read while I was waiting for the plane for forever, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm really excited now to read this one as well and pick up her other books. I also love how her covers match, and they're kind of like, you know, minimalistic in a way, but I just love the colors and everything on them. So yeah, I picked this one up as well. Then because Melinda Salisbury was gonna be there, and there is a book by her that I read on my Kindle that I really enjoyed, I decided I would grab a physical copy and add it to my collection so I could get it signed, and that is Hold Back the Tide by Melinda Salisbury. I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was great. It was quite dark, and there was quite some amount of horror in it, and I really enjoyed this one. So I decided, since I'm gonna go to her anyways for the signing, I might pick up a couple more books by her and give them a try. So I picked up State of Sorrow, which I believe is a second book on a duology or something. I'll have to look that up before I make the mistake of reading book 2. But yeah, I got this one so I could get it signed, and I also got her latest one, Her Dark Wings, and she told me this one is really dark, and if I enjoyed Hold Back the Tide, she said I'll probably really love this one as well. So I'm really excited now, because I told her, you know, Hold Back the Tide was my favorite, so she said this is gonna be my new favorite. Let's see. Moving on to some good fantasy, and I was really excited because finally I was gonna be able to meet Joshua Winning again. I met him, I think, the first time that I ever really went to Yalc, and I only was there for like a day. And you know, that is a really fond memory that I have from my first Yalc. And now he was gonna be there with his new book, The Shadow Glass. So I decided obviously to pick it up, and it has such a beautiful cover, and it's kind of like edited as it would be a VHS tape, and can we just please admire how cute that is. So I'm really excited to get to this one, and this is supposed to be something reminiscent of pop culture, you know, those good 80s 90s things, so I'm just really excited. Another one that I'm excited about, because I feel like this one is gonna be a lot of fun, is The King is Dead by Benjamin Dean. This also just released like right before Yalc, so you know, not many people have read it yet, but I heard that it's good and it's fun and it's entertaining, so you know, I just, you know, picked it up and I'll give it a try. This video is gonna be endless, and I am just getting to the end of the Yalc haul, and after that I still have a couple more books. But at the Yalc, Bridget Kemmerer was gonna be there, and there was also a book about grief that she wrote that I was interested in, that I had on my list for a while, and I decided, you know, I might as well just pick it up now that she's here and I could get it like signed and personalized, and that is Letters to the Lost by Bridget Kemmerer. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. And her queue was so long, but she was so lovely, offering, you know, to stay longer, to be around the Yalc, to keep signing for people. So yeah, I'm really excited to give this one a try. And then I'm really excited about this one as well. This is part of a series by Jonathan Stroud, and he also had quite a long queue. The thing with Jonathan Stroud is that he was just so nice to everybody. He was talking to everybody for so long that the queue didn't move much and I was waiting for a long time. But I picked up Lockwood and Co. and I picked up volume 1, which is The Screaming Staircase, but I also picked up volume 2, which is The Whispering Skull, and I got these two signed. This is a series that I've been meaning to pick up as well for some time. I've heard really good things about it, so I decided, you know, now that I'm here, let's pick it up and, you know, let's get them signed. And last but absolutely not least is another copy of Solitaire by Alice Oseman. So I just recently bought Solitaire and read it, and I left it home because Alice Oseman was only going to sign one thing per person because her queue was going to be humongous, which it was ginormous. But thanks to Amy McCaw, who was such a trooper, she got me a ticket for Alice Oseman, and I got myself a ticket so I could get two things signed, and I am just so grateful that Amy got me that ticket. And I knew that if there was something else I wanted signed by Alice Oseman apart from Heartstopper, it was gonna be Solitaire, because I can relate to Tori so much. And if you go into Solitaire thinking it's going to be similar to Heartstopper, that is not the case. This is really dark. It has a lot of trigger warnings and it's very intense, but I do relate to Tori because I feel like she's a character that stands on her own way and she knows the things that she should change, but it's really hard for her to change them. And I feel like that is me in so many ways, and I could see myself reflected in these pages so much. So yeah, I got this one signed by Alice as well. But yeah, I had to repurchase it because I obviously had left my copy at home. And now I have a signed copy that is just gonna be for display, and the one that I have at home here is gonna be just for rereading purposes because I think this is a book that I'm going to reread a lot. And outside of Yalc, I also went book shopping, even though I did control myself a little bit because I knew that at Yalc I was gonna buy all the things. But I went to one of those secondhand bookstores that I really like in London, and I ended up finding two hardcover Stephen King books that I didn't own, so I decided to pick them up. And it is these two bad boys. So the first one is called Insomnia, and yeah, I think they were each £20, which is not bad because they are hardcover Stephen Kings, and you know, these ones are not easy to find. And the other one is this one, which is Bag of Bones. So I'm really excited that I got these two for £40 or 20 each, but like I said, these ones are not easy to find here, so I had to pick them up. Then I went to Forbidden Planet because it's another must stop when I am in London. I always have to check out what they have, and that was before I went to Yalc, so I was very concerned about all of the books I was gonna get at Yalc, so I limited myself to two books. The first one is Sundial by Catriona Ward. Since I loved so much The Last House on Needless Street, I decided to pick this one up there because it is a signed copy, so I was really excited. And the other one that I picked up is this one here. It is The Pallbearers Club by Paul Tremblay because it was £2 off, and it has the cover that I need to match my other Paul Tremblay books. So yeah, this is the two that I picked up at Forbidden Planet. And last, right at the airport, because we were waiting at the airport for hours and hours, I decided to check out what books they had, and they had these, you know, buy one get one half off. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. So the last two books that I picked up on my trip, one of them is called Girl A by Abigail Dean, and I've heard it is pretty intense. This is a thriller, but I've heard it's really gruesome and disturbing, and I've heard good things about it, so I decided to pick it up. And the other one is actually a non-fiction, which I don't read enough, and it's called Cult Following: My Escape and Return to the Children of God by Bexy Cameron. So this is obviously based on a cult, and cults are something that intrigue me a lot. I'm really interested to learn about them. There's something about them that is just so intriguing to me, you know, like it mesmerized me how these people have created these cults and the way that they work and their rules and all of these things. I don't know, it's just so interesting to me. So I'm really excited to also read this one. And since this is a true story, this is basically a memoir, so I feel like it's going to be really interesting to hear the story from the person that had to go through all of that. So yeah, these are the last two that I picked up at the airport. Alright guys, so these are all the books that I bought while I was in London and also on my visit to Yalc. And I know it's a lot, but honestly the books were mostly cheaper than, you know, if I would have bought them here. And I don't know, I just wanted to really allow myself to splurge and have the experience and go crazy and get all the books and get excited about them. And a lot of these are middle grade and YA horror thrillers, which is something that, like I said, I wanted to read more of. And there's also a lot of queer romances here that I'm really excited about. Yeah, so a lot of things that I wanted to read that I was interested in anyways. So yeah, a lot of books that now I have to fit somewhere on my shelf, so yay. I mean, anyways, I wanted to reorganize my shelves at some point because I feel like they're not really functional at the moment, the way that I have things organized. So I feel like, you know, one of my next videos is going to be a bookshelf reorganization. And there's also a lot of things that I have like to put on my shelves, like little decoration stuff that I still have packed. So it's probably gonna be a good time to check out the things that I really want on my shelves and the things that I want to maybe give away or something like that. So yeah, I feel like a good declutter reorganization moment is coming. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed seeing all the things that I picked up. Let me know down below what you thought about these books, if you've read some of them or not, if you're excited for some of these titles. Let's talk about it in the comments. Thank you guys as always so much for all your support, and I'll see you all in our next coffee time. Bye!